I want to teach because I know the importance of positive expectation. Growing up, my mother was the greatest picture of this to me. She gave me the choice of being a doctor, lawyer, or business person. She told me I had to get straight A's because I'm smart enough to, and there's no excuse not to. So I did. I always thought that my mom was the smartest person ever because she knew how to read people. But really, all she did was say what she thought of them, and it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm aware of the fact that children today are going to be adults in 15 years. That's a crazy statement, but it's true. That 5-year-old floppy-haired spunky boy named Timmy might be in a leadership position in America someday. What kind of person do you want him to be? Parents are given the responsibility to raise their children to be quote-unquote good citizens. The biggest problem, unfortunately, is that people do not need a license to have children. You know that crazy rebellious druggie from high school? He has kids. That kid who you thought was going to blow up the school? He has kids too. The girl with countless piercings and tattoos? She has kids. That's pretty scary, especially considering the saying the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. As a teacher, I want to be able to break the bad generational habits, attitudes, and lifestyles in order to raise up a generation of hardworking, loving, and generous people. To me, an effective teacher is one who can take any child from where they are currently to even higher than the school standard. The effective teacher does not have a problem with her students' behavior because she is a great classroom manager, whose students know what to expect and how to respond. The effective teacher knows how to read her students and know what their learning language is. What are they best at? Do they like working in groups or alone? Thinking quietly or out loud? The effective teacher has high expectations in her students. It's apparent to her students that she knows that they will succeed and follows that up with lessons plans that allow learning to flourish. Most of all, though, the effective teacher loves her students and guides them gently in growth and knowledge. Philosophies and theorists that have guided my practice are Nell Noddings, Lev Vygotsky, Howard Gardner, John Dewey, constructivism, and progressivism. I admire Nell Noddings because of her care for her students and desire for parental involvement. I think it's so important to first show the children that you love them, and secondly, allow the parents to see how you interact with the child so that the parent may develop positive expectations, motivation, and even more love for their child than they had before. Lev Vygotsky contributes to my ideals of teaching mostly because of his idea that nurture is more influential than nature. I would like to believe that no matter where my students come from, what kind of parents, what friends, what hardships, that in my classroom I will be able to nurture them into something they never thought they could be, a good student and a good person. To me, the constructivist theory contains many good points. I agree that teaching others, immediate use of learning, and practicing by doing are the best ways to retain knowledge. John Dewey and progressivism also have a part to play in my teaching philosophy. It's more important for me to know that the child really understands what he has learned by being able to ask questions about it, test it, and be able to reteach it. As a teacher, I want my classroom to reflect who I am. I love with my whole heart, and I teach because I want others to know the wonderful things that I have learned. I want my classroom to be an open environment, safe for questions, and full of sharing thoughts and ideas. I want my children to feel safe, and no matter what, I want to be there for them. More than just a source of information and a babysitter during the day, I want to be someone the children can confide in and really ask questions of. I know that if children feel love from me and I manage my classroom well, this kind of environment will result and my children will learn.